think the recurring issues that I'm interested in are notions of how, as communities, we create architecture or space, articulations of what we believe in or what our values are. Things as basic as what your house looks like. How does that articulate who you think you are or what you want to be or where you're from? That, of course, has drawn me to religious themes or political themes. You're given the opportunity to physically step over the first sculpture called Untitled Threshold Sculpture, which is very simply a piece of wood on the floor in the entranceway into the gallery space. This is a piece of sculpture which kind of touches and makes you very aware of the fact that you're entering a particular and different environment. I think of it as being something which delineates one space from another, perhaps a space for ideas and public space. I'm exhibiting a new sculpture called Hope and Glory. The title comes from that English song of the Empire, Land of Hope and Glory. It might set up some kind of discussion with the specifics of Liverpool being rebuilt, rebranded, redesigned, but maybe it's a kind of monument to something which is lost. And then there's 3 sprayed photographic works which are titled Annihilated Confessions, taken from archive documents of 16th, 17th and 18th century confessional boxes from Roman Catholic churches. And then an act of, we might say, censorship or muting has happened, where I've spray painted across the majority of the image so that you can no longer see the box, which is the content of the shot. I'm kind of critical of the whole notion of confession in such a formal way. The idea of being absolved from sin due to spending 10 minutes in a wooden, elaborate construction, I think it's perhaps outmoded and a little kind of dangerous, hence the kind of the annihilation of them. I guess I'm hoping that they set up the debate in terms of, well, where is there confession now? Does it exist? Can it be reality television or internet blogs, or does it exist somewhere else? But I think it wouldn't be a misunderstanding of the work to see them as being quite formally critical of the institutions of religion. This work behind me, There Will Be No Miracles Here, comes from a historical event where one very, very warm summer in France, there was a series of moments of mass hysteria. The villagers were somehow possessed by something, it was thought. The king at the time installed a very large sign in the market square which read, "There will be no miracles here, by order of the king." I heard this kind of anecdote and thought, well, it's fascinating in itself that the king of the day was proclaiming the existence of God, but was stating that during this summer he was more superior than God, which that's a kind of nice historical idea. And what I've done is I've taken away its authorship, and it sits now in the museum. I think of it as being a piece of work which states that your actions have consequences, and that relying on some higher being or some other person to change your circumstances is futile. So, although it actually says that nothing will happen, I think it's wholly optimistic and has value for the kind of moral uncertainty which we find ourselves in.